This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time is precisely 6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Chandima Veerakorn. Headlines. The President expresses willingness to contest the next presidential election. The no-confidence motion against Minister Udaya Ganmanpilla debated in Parliament. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga says the government has a plan to reduce price of essential goods. 227 suspects connected to the Easter Sunday attack are presently in remand prison. In news overseas, Indian Parliament opens amid Pegasus spyware row. In sports news, it's Tokyo Olympics, first COVID cases in Athletes' Village, and Team Great Britain have 8 self-isolating. Local stories in detail. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa today said that he will contest a second term at the next presidential election. Speaking to heads of the media institutions, the president said he is willing to contest at the next presidential election. The president said he has not only 3 more years, but 5 more years to implement his policies. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, Hudson Samarasinghe, recalled the way officials in Colombo offices took steps to mislead former Prime Minister Dadli Senanayake when he commenced Waga Sangramaya program. The chairman pointed out that all activities related to cultivations during that time were limited to files. In reply, the president said that he has a sound knowledge on organic agriculture since he grew among temples and paddy fields in the village from childhood. The president also recalled the respect he had for farming activities. The no-confidence motion against Minister Udaya Ganmanpilla was taken for debate in Parliament today. Taking part in the debate, Minister Ali Sabri said that the government revived the economy by reducing VAT. The people have been given relief despite the country is closed or not. He said that necessary funds have to be found. He further said that although there are various views among the parties of the government, no minister will be betrayed. The income from oil has been utilised to provide relief to the public. MP Partali Champika said that the central bank has not been able to meet the shortage of funds in the banking sector. State Minister Nimal Lansa said that the good governance government destroyed the economy by damaging national security. He pointed out that the vaccination program is successfully taking place. State Minister Kanchana Wijayasekara said that the no-confidence motion had divided the opposition. MP Thalata Athakorala said that the price increase of fuel is a burden on the people. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that the central bank bond scam and destruction of the country's economy during the time of good governance government led to many problems. He said that the government has provided maximum benefits to the people amid the COVID pandemic. He further said that the government has a method to reduce the price of essential goods. 227 persons connected to the Easter Sunday attack are presently in remand prison. Investigations are continuing into the incident. 83 suspects are under police custody. Court cases have been filed against 30 suspects. Police have taken into custody more than 205 million rupees and jewellery from the suspects. About 100 bank accounts have been freezed. The United National Party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe stating that the no-confidence motion should be presented against an inefficient government more than just an individual, has submitted an amendment to it in Parliament today. United National Party Chairman Vajra Abeyewardene said that the final decision will be taken tomorrow after discussions with other party leaders. The Attorney General today told the court that the prosecution is expecting to hear the first central bank bond scam that took place in February 2015. In the absentia of former central bank governor Arjun Mahendran, if he cannot be brought here under the extradition laws. Additional Solicitor General Priyantha Navanna, appearing for the Attorney General, informed Colombo Permanent Trial at Bar that Attorney General's Department has already sent documents to the Singapore Attorney General's Department regarding Arjun Mahendran's extradition. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Call 0718 800 999.
Continuing with the local stories, Eastern Province Governor Anuradha Yahampath says that steps taken to prevent sand mining, which destroys the environment, will not be suspended. The governor said that she gave instructions to security authorities after witnessing the destruction. The governor mentioned this during a workshop to brief the heads of local government bodies and members in the Trincomalee district. A unit with trained wildlife officials and employees to treat injured wild animals has been set up at the Wildlife Department. It will treat animals injured due to human activities and for other reasons. Minister C.B. Ratnayaka said that a methodology will be introduced to get expenditure for food and medicine for animals from volunteer groups and animal-friendly people. To end the local news, the headlines again. The President expresses willingness to contest the next presidential election. The no-confidence motion against Minister Udaya Ganmanpilla debated in Parliament. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga says the government has a plan to reduce price of essential goods. 227 suspects connected to the Easter Sunday attack are presently in remand prison. That ends local news.
Now, get your EPF loan information and service details via SMS from HDFC Bank. Wherever you are, being a state and private sector employee, to obtain EPF loan information and service details, just send a SMS mentioning EPF space, name and region to 0718 800 999. HDFC Bank, the bank for your home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On the main news story, the National Sandalwood Garden built at Batramulla Sri Jayawardhanapura will be vested with the public at 6 p.m. tomorrow under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Construction of the garden commenced on the 20th of last year. 294 million rupees have been spent to build the garden in 2 stages. There are 300 red sandalwood and 900 white sandalwood trees in the garden. All facilities have been made available for the visitors. The vehicle park can accommodate 60 vehicles at once. That ends the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight. Education Minister G.L. Peiris said the closing date of accepting the applications for Grade 1 for the year 2022 has been extended until 7th August. He said the decision was taken considering the prevailing pandemic situation, travel restrictions and difficulties faced by the patients. Their specimen application could be downloaded from the official website of the ministry, www.moe.gov.lk. Moving on to the world news, the headlines. Indian Parliament opens amid Pegasus spyware row. Foreign missions in Kabul issue joint call for Taliban ceasefire. Father and son sentenced for helping ex-Nissan boss escape. India's parliament has begun a new session today amid allegations that spyware from an Israeli firm was used to hack phones of MPs, businessmen and journalists. The target's phone numbers were on a database believed to be of interest to clients of Israeli firm NSO. The list was leaked to major news outlets. It is unclear where the list came from or how many phones were hacked. The Indian government has denied any unauthorized surveillance. 15 diplomatic missions and the NATO representative in Kabul have joined hands to urge the Taliban to halt military offensives across Afghanistan. It comes just hours after a peace meeting in Doha failed to agree on a ceasefire. A senior delegation of Afghan leaders met the Taliban's political leadership in the Qatari capital over the last 2 days. But a Taliban statement issued late yesterday made no mention of a halt to Afghanistan's rising violence. The American father and son have been sentenced for their role in ex-Nissan chief Carlos Ghosn's escape from Japan in 2019. The Tokyo court sentenced U.S. Special Forces veteran Michael Taylor to 2 years in prison. His son Peter was handed a term of 1 year and 8 months. The pair was extradited from the U.S. over claims they smuggled Mr. Ghosn out of Japan in a luggage box on a private jet as he awaited trial. To end the world news, the headlines again. Indian Parliament opens amid Pegasus spyware row. Foreign missions in Kabul issue joint call for Taliban ceasefire. Father and son sentenced for helping ex-Nissan boss escape. That ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, #1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
Moving on to development news. Tokyo Cement Group recently expanded their Fountain of Life project by gifting purified drinking water facilities to the people of Siembala Gasvava in Mihintale. The company installed a customized pure hydro water purification system with reverse osmosis technology with an output capacity of 5,000 litres a day, endowing the precious gift of life on nearly 650 villages in Siembala Gasvava. That ends development news.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, #1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
Moving on to sports news, it's Olympics, golf and Formula One news. In Olympics, 2 South Africa footballers have become the first competitors to test positive for coronavirus in the athletes' village in Tokyo 5 days before the start of the Olympic Games. Meanwhile, 6 athletes and 2 staff members from Team Great Britain's athletics team are self-isolating after being identified as close contacts of an individual who tested positive after their arrival into Tokyo on 16th July. In golf news, Colin Morikawa said it was hard to grasp and take in what he had achieved after winning the Claret Jug on his Open Championship debut yesterday. The 24-year-old American held off 2017 Open champion Jordan Spieth to triumph by 2 shots at Royal St. George's. In doing so, he became the first man to win 2 different majors on debut. In Formula One news, Lewis Hamilton has been the target of racist abuse on social media after his victory at yesterday's British Grand Prix. Hamilton received a 10-second penalty after a collision with the title rival Max Verstappen during the first lap of the race, which led to the Dutchman crashing out. Mercedes F1 and governing body, the FIA, condemned the abuse in the strongest possible terms. That ends sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
JAT Holdings will commence its initial public offering tomorrow. The IPO will enable investors to get benefits by investing in one of Sri Lanka's leading conglomerate brands in wood coatings and paint. JAT has faced rapid growth in key markets across Sri Lanka and South Asia. Managed by CAL and NDB Investment Bank, JAT Holdings IPO will offer approximately 82,904,846 ordinary voting shares at 27 rupees per share. That ends Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And on economic news, Sri Lanka tea exports grew 13.96% to 26.99 million kilograms in June 2021, while first half exports grew 10.3% to 136.9 million kilograms, with Turkey retaining its position as the top buyer of Ceylon tea. Sri Lanka has earned $650 million from tea exports, up from $570 million. In the January to June 2021 period, the average free on-board price of tea was 933.18 rupees, up from 854.92 rupees amid a depreciation of the rupee. That ends economic news.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And finally, on the weather report, the Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in the Sabaragamuwa and central provinces. A few showers will occur in the Western Province and in Galle and Mathura districts. Fairly strong gusty winds up to 50 km per hour are likely across the island, and strong gusty winds up to 60 km per hour can be expected in the western slope of the Central Hills, northern, north central and northwestern provinces, and in Hambantota and Mannar districts. That ends the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And to conclude this bulletin of news, the headlines again. The President expresses willingness to contest the next presidential election. The no-confidence motion against Minister Uday Ganmanpilla debated in Parliament. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga says the government has a plan to reduce price of essential goods. 227 suspects connected to the Easter Sunday attack are presently in the remand prison. In news overseas, Indian Parliament opens amid Pegasus spyware row. In sports news, Tokyo Olympics, first COVID cases in Athletes Village, and Team Great Britain have 8 self-isolating. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.